Two clubs in real need of a lift meet in Lincolnshire. The LNER Stadium is our venue tonight for Sky Bet League One action as Lincoln City host Crawley Town. It's back-to-back defeats and just one win in 7 games for both of these clubs coming into this. Crawley's need is great. At the bottom end of the table, they lost a crunch clash with relegation rivals Cambridge at home on Saturday, and now find themselves 6 points short of safety and just 2 above bottom club Shrewsbury. Needs to start strongly. Junior Quiterna. He's making himself available again for the return ball. It might open up for Crawley here. This is Barker flashing it in, and surely touched in for the opening goal with a shade over 5 minutes played, and it's Kamari Doyle who scored it. He was the one in the right place to apply that decisive touch. He was the one whose own goal started the scoring, started the slide against Cambridge at the weekend. But it is just the response that Crawley Town required. Owed much to John Jules and Swan in the build-up. Barker's ball in was not dealt with at all by George Wickens. And it's a gift of a goal really for Kamari Doyle. And yet again, Lincoln City culpable in the manner of the concession, as they were to an extent for all 4 that they let in against Barnsley at the weekend. Defensive deficiencies return already, and Kamari Doyle scores his 3rd goal with Crawley already. Just the 1 goal to his name so far this season up from the back for Sean Rowan. Adam Jackson wearing the captain's armband in Connor's absence. There's Hackett if he can reach it, and he does. Rico Hackett. Support here from Darikwa to have a goal! Oh, so unlucky. Certainly caught hold of that. And the frame of the goal still rattling as it's returned over the top by Rowan in the end. Well, there has been a response from Lincoln City, certainly, to the disappointment of falling behind, and they were very nearly back on terms here. Rico Hackett did well. Darikwa able to take the touch, and it looked like Wallacott was beaten. It was very nearly 2-2, and 6 for the season for Tendai Darikwa. Better though from Lincoln City, encouraging for the Imps in pursuit of parity. Slip through for Jeffries, who calls Wallacott into action. Now McGrandles, back for Dom Jeffries to deliver, really good ball, equalising goal. It hasn't taken too long to make it 1-1. And he wasn't going to spurn an opportunity like that, wasn't James Collins. Straightforward finish for him, his 4th goal since joining in January. Lincoln weren't behind for too long. Jeffries providing the service, and all sorts of space in between the 2 centre-backs. It's been all too easy, really, at both ends already. And Collins here is the player who profits. Tyrese John Jules going down, no free kick forthcoming from referee Smith. Here's Rowan. Jeffries. Decent ball again, and a really well-placed header that bounces back off the post and then will be touched in by Makama. They do reap their reward, and Lincoln City have turned this one around in relatively short order. Having conceded early, Lincoln lead. And Jovan Makama gets his goal. He did a couple of goes at it, Excellent header out of the reach of the goalkeeper, and maybe deserved the fortune that followed as it came back his way to make sure. And Makama scores in consecutive games, doubling his total for the League One season in the process over the course of the last 4 days. And Michael Skubala has seen the response that he wanted to from his side after they went behind so early. Here's Darikwa in towards Collins. Makama. And that's a really well-worked third for Lincoln City. Dom Jeffries reacting quickest on the end of it. And League One's leakiest defence concedes again. But Lincoln City now starting to enjoy themselves, and they do deserve credit for the way that they picked a way through here. Instinctive first-time finish from Jeffries, who made the first and has now scored the third. Long throw this time for Lincoln City, and he gets really decent distance on that one. Adeyema's lost out to Makama. He then goes down. Referee says no penalty, which on first viewing I think appeared the correct call. Trevor Makama continues to cause problems. He's in the mood to make something happen, certainly. Risky one for Max Anderson, who's the player that stepped across. Referee had a decent enough view and didn't give it. His House. Wider for Darikwa. Cut back dangerously. And a big chance is spurned by Hamilton. Only just on. And should have really been on the score sheet from there. Had time to take that touch and set himself from round about the penalty spot. And he's put it wide. Forward it goes again, but there's always going to be plenty back in red at this stage. Most of the work has been routine. Hamer clears it away. Does look like he's going to go the distance now. All the changes having been made, he's going to have to. Hamilton's ball into space. Strong run this from Gardner. That might just wrap it up in style. The fourth goal that Lincoln City have been searching for throughout their second half, scored by the teenage substitute Joe Gardner. His first in senior football is one to remember. And the Imps back to winning ways, with more than something to spare. Excellent that from Gardner. Brought in ahead of schedule on loan from Nottingham Forest at the end of the previous transfer window, and showing what he could be capable of. Did lose key players after promotion, and they've come up short again tonight. That's the last of the 4 added minutes. Been a chastening experience for the visitors once more. And one last Lincoln City attack likely to be launched here by Gardner. Barker was with him. And it goes towards Cadamartri, still wasn't dealt with. Tanimu got a touch to it. They clear that one away, but that's the full-time whistle. And that's the return to winning ways in some style for Lincoln City, much needed in these parts, but it does pile on the problems for Crawley at the bottom of the table. One-sided stuff for the most part, despite Lincoln having to come back from behind. And after those back-to-back defeats, Skubala is all smiles at full-time. Well, Lincoln City have beaten Crawley Town by 4 goals to 1.